Okay, now we are recording. Thank you.
Okay. So we've probably been doing this for 20 minutes already at least. So we'll just take the 1.358 and put 1.358 and it'll go on both sides. It said to do it to the right and do it to the left. So then the probability is 0.175, and that's what we got when we went through it the first time. And then the second one is, which of the following will have a smaller standard deviation if 9 observations are randomly drawn from the population? And I think it's the distribution of sample means. It's not that it can't be determined, and I don't think it's the individual observations. So I'm going to go with this middle one here. Which of the following result implies that the spread of the X decreases as a sample? I know it's not this one, and I know it's not this one. I just don't know if it's the normal or if it's the law of large numbers. So I'm going to go with this one.
I submitted the quiz already, and it's not the normal distribution, so it's probably the law of large numbers.
Okay. So we'll try that one then. And then this one, we know that the mean is 150.8 and the standard deviation is 8.8. So now we're going to go into the problem, and she got 160, so she got better than the mean. So they're wanting to know what is the z-score. So then the formula is the z equals the x, which is 160, minus the 150.8 divided by the 8.8. And
8.8.
Yeah. And that was the 1.045.
And so when do you do the square root? When do you divide by the square root of the number? What's the rule for that formula?
If it gives you, see, if you look in this question, it doesn't tell you how many people were sampled. It just tells you the one person. If there's a sample number, then you're going to use the square root.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, and then this next one, the probability. So we know we're going to use the app that a randomly selected student will have above 160. So we know we're going to want it. It's going to be above because 150.8 was the normal, and then we're going to plug in what we got from this one, the z-score, 1.045, and then that'll give us the probability right here. And that's the 0.148, and he says he only wants it to 3 decimals, so we drop the 0.
So,
and then
8.
Now this one does tell us that there's a random sample of 5, so we know we're going to use that square root. So we add these together, divide it by 5 to get our mean, and that's 160, which is exactly what the mean was above there, but the normal mean is 150.8. So what is the z-score corresponding to the sample means of the student scores? So this z-score, we're going to do the 160 minus the 150.8. We know that there's 5 students, so we're going to want to use what the standard deviation was divided by the square root of 5. The standard deviation here was, oh crap, I don't remember now. Oh, there, 8.8. So it'd be 160 minus 150.8 divided by 8.8 divided by the square root of 5. And that one we came up with 2.338. Yeah, 2.338. And then now they almost always ask us next, what's the probability? So we know we're going to use the app and put in the mean score. And we want selected students will have a mean score that is greater than the mean achieved. We want to know on the probability act what is going to be greater. So that's this one. And the answer to the z-score was 2.338. So we put in 2.338. And it tells us that it's going to be 0.0097.
0097.
He said to put it in four places, so that's what we're doing there. And then the normal GPA was 3.5, so we know what the mean is. We know what the standard deviation is. We know that it's left skewed, but the random was a lot of people. It was a large amount, so we know it's going to end up being a normal one. Yeah, approximately normal. And then the mean distribution of the sample means is the same thing as the mean right here, the 3.5. So that was that answer. And then what's the standard deviation? So we want to know standard deviation. They want to know what the z-score is. And then we also see the sample size of 81. So we know that we're going to have to do that square root thingamabob.
Okay.
So what is it, 81? Okay.
81 size.
Square root 81.
So the z-score for the one that's got a sample size, it would be the 0.7, which is the standard deviation, divided by the square root of 8. And that's where we get the 0.078. And then now they're going to ask us the probability of that again. So we'll go up to here. And, oh, wait, hold on. What did they want? They wanted to know will be less than 3.3. So we're going to shade the one that is the lesser of the, and we're going to put in 0.078. Okay, that's not what we were supposed to do. Let me see. Oh, because we didn't do the math first. 3.3, that's the x, and you minus that times the mean, which was 3.5. Divide that by the standard deviation that was 0.7 divided by the sample, which is the square root of 81. So, and that number, when we did all the math the last time, it was negative
2.571.
Yeah, there we go. That one looks better. So now we see that the probability is up here. That's the percentage of how many people. So it would be 0.5% of the people. Whoops, where did I get that? 0.5 was the answer. And then the opposite of that, the greater than, those are all the 3.3s. These are 3.4, 3.5, 3.6. They're going to be 0.995 because he wants us to take it to 3. And then the last one, so the standard mean, the middle part is going to be 185, but of the 48 that they sampled, it was 177 with a standard deviation of the 26.7. So you take the 177 minus the 185, divide that by the 26.7 divided by the square root of 48. And we came up with 0.55.
Okay, did you happen to get some help with your tutor, or I guess do we want to stop recording regarding percentile stuff? I'm so confused on those questions that, you know, the 35th percentile, this or that, that's been on some of the homework quizzes. What is the formula? I haven't, you know, what do we do there? You know?
The probability in the area the probability, the area, and the percentage are all up in this bracket right here. And so if you want to know the 35 percentile, then you put that you want to know the 35 percentile up here.
So you just do 0.35 up there?
I believe so. 0.35. And then it's going to give you the z-scores.
Okay.
But you know what, that was last week, and I was just worried about this stuff.
Well,
I don't remember. Does anybody else remember?
It's on the homework for this 1 for 7. Asked one of the questions is on that. So.
On which one?
I think it was the homework for this lesson 7 that we do. Part of the quiz.
Lesson 7. Yeah, the 40th percentile. In the applet, you're going to put 0.40, and then that's the area. Then it's going to tell you what the z-score is. So yeah, you're putting 0.35 if you want to know the 35th percentile, or 0.4, whatever it is, 0.9 if you want to know the 90th percentile. And then you make sure that you've got the areas shaded right.
Yeah, that's the thing is okay. All right.
So
Okay.
what did we get on our test, I wonder?
100%.
All right. Fantastico.
Good. Polly, thank you so much. I just learned so much more in just this time with you